Plants vs. Zombies is an outstanding franchise that skyrocketed after their original mobile game in 2009. Now in 2019, a new Plants vs. Zombies game is coming out to launch on October 18th. Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville is their latest shooter game that adds on to the franchise. But is it worth buying? For this video, I would like to talk about both the pros and cons about the new game. Here's everything you need to know before you buy Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville. First of all, I would like to point out that Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville is nothing like Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 1 and 2. However, the game performs in a similar fashion to the predecessor counterparts. Most of the old characters from the previous games have returned with 3 new character classes for both plants and zombies. The characters from previous games have changed over time from their art style to their gameplay mechanics. As far as gameplay goes, you might find some features very familiar. My guess is that the devs of Plants vs. Zombies took a really big inspiration to Overwatch in terms of their new character design. For example, Citron's new shield feels a little bit like Reinhardt. Cactus and Captain Deadbeard feel like Widowmaker. Engineer feels like Torbjorn. Scientist feels like Mercy. Imp feels like Diva. Heck, there are even points and payloads in Turf Takeover. Although it seems like Overwatch and TF2 were big inspirations, the dev team does put in ideas to make their shooter very unique, such as adding new original gameplay styles for their game. For example, you can spawn in AI plants and zombies to help you out in the fight, just like in Garden Warfare. There is also a new sprint mechanic on all the characters that helps make the gameplay go slightly faster. Some people really like it and some people really dislike it. With the single player story mode, they really outdid themselves. I loved the new boss battles and free roam worlds you can explore. They even brought back the gnome collecting and the chest collecting from Garden Warfare 2. Although garden graveyard ops do last as long as the regular ops in the previous games, there are only 5 waves with the possible chances of having an elite boss in the final wave. Elite bosses do feel like the boss hunts in Garden Warfare 2, so I'm really happy that they added that into the game, as well as new faces to the boss battles with Pickle Rick, along with the older bosses, such as Pumpkin Squash, what? What's really his name, PopCap? Some of these new changes affected some of the people that previously played Garden Warfare 1 and 2. It does take some time to get used to, but after a while I got addicted to the game and couldn't stop playing it. There are none. You're only allowed to play as the default characters. This affected fans in the long run because they really enjoyed playing as their favorite character variants. The reason for only featuring defaults is simple. I think the dev team wanted a similar style like Overwatch, and didn't want to confuse variants amongst the roster. That way new people can get used to their characters and learn how to use them over time. In terms of leveling up, the XP bar goes a lot slower than it does in Garden Warfare 2 because of the lack of variants. The PopCap developers also mentioned that new characters will be slowly added to their roster in the future, so that way it will be really exciting to look forward to. Whether you believe in this new feature is a good thing or a bad thing is really for you to decide. In the Founders Edition, people have mentioned that some character classes are either underpowered, such as Colonel Corner Foot Soldier, or overpowered, such as Nightcap or Oak. Since then, the dev team has been adjusting the character roster to make the gameplay smooth for the final product. The gameplay overall is slower paced when it comes to encountering gunfights with other players. You can't really one-man army against an enemy team like you could do in Garden Warfare. Instead, you work in numbers against the enemy team. That is the point of the game, teamwork. Again, it does take some time to get used to, but it is an easy adjustment. In Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville, you do not have sticker packs anymore. Instead, you have the Rewardotron 3000. This machine gives you a new item every 30,000 coins. It may sound expensive with each item, but the coins do add up over time. There are also daily challenges and weekly challenges that you could do which reward you with both money and prize bulbs. Prize bulbs are used to buy seasonal rewards from the prize tent. As of October of 2019, the Lawn of Doom is still active, and you can get all the Halloween rewards until November when we begin the food fight event for Thanksgiving. Finally, is it worth purchasing? Whether you love or hate the game, Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville affected the community in many different ways. Keep in mind that this game does have a lot of potential in the shooting department. People would just need to wait for upcoming stuff, that way the team can make this game bigger and better every single update. It's a shame that the community will take one look at the game and not give it a second chance. The dev team really did put a lot of effort into this new game. Even leaking some of the stuff from the game really doesn't help them out a little bit. So please be respectable when it comes to the criticism of the game, because remember, there are people who worked behind this game. For those who do love this game, it's important to keep in mind that within time, Plants vs. Zombies will slowly become a fun shooter for a lot more people, including both the PvZ fans and new upcoming people who will buy the shooter. Hi, would you like some logs? I guess he didn't want logs.